Hi Timeless Gamers, this is Juan DeMarcos, 123 Go Retro. Unfortunately, I can't come to the show today, but I'm going to show you some of my controllers that I use for gaming. And I'm sorry for the clutter here, guys. So, these are the controllers that I use. This is ASCII ASCII, or however you pronounce it. It's an ASCII controller that I use for the PS1. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it has auto fire buttons which you can enable individually using these toggle switches right here, so you can cheat your way to Metal Gear Solid torture scene. Unfortunately, I believe this was released before the DualShock, so it doesn't have the analog sticks, but that's okay because back in the 90s we didn't really have we're not accustomed to the analog sticks yet. So here it is. I think everyone knows already what this is. This is the bigger brother of the PS1 controller, which is the DualShock 2 controller. And as you can see, we got some wear and tear here already. You see some cat hair. And this is one of the controllers that didn't have, it had the similar features or build with the first generation of the PS1. So maybe the designers think that it's a it's a perfect controller. You have the fine grip, you have the outstanding design, so why design another one, right? And also the main difference with the DualShock 2 controller is it has the pressure sensitive buttons, which is really useful if you're playing racing or racing simulation games, where you can just lightly press the buttons so you don't over revolution your cars, right? And it's also useful in other games. And here we have a generic arcade stick that I bought 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. And this is what do you call this? A Japanese type stick. It has the buttons. A good thing about this, even though it's a generic controller arcade stick, is that you can plug it in on a PS1, PS2, and you can also use this on a PS3 using the USB connector, and it indicates which controller, which port you are using with these LEDs. So this I use for playing arcade games, and you can even use this on the PC as well. But yeah, I also, believe it or not, I use this to finish the original Resident Evil 3 using the arcade stick, and I am subsequently playing Resident Evil 4 using this stick, but I haven't finished that gameplay yet. Maybe I could share a link to Sergio to showcase what I did with this arcade stick in Resident Evil. Okay, now I'm going to the light gun controllers. So this one is the original Japanese version of the Namco Guncon, which you can use to play light gun games. Unfortunately, you can't use this on a CRT monitor. You need to have a CRT TV to play light gun games with this, because the reason is that they don't have the same frequency, because the frequency of CRT monitor is 31 kilohertz or something like that, and the standard CRT TV is just 15 kilohertz. So there's a difference in the frequency, so you can't really use these light gun game controllers using a CRT monitor. As you can see here, this is my CRT TV. That's where I play light gun games. Well, it's not connected right now. This Namco Guncon is, you can only use this for the PS1, also in PS2 with some select games like Time Crisis 2, and you can't play this anymore with other games. It's not I mean, you can play it, but it needs to have the D-pad of the GunCon 2 to play the PS2 light gun games. And that's where this comes in. So this is a third-party light gun that is modeled after the GunCon 2. As you can see, the difference is you have the D-pad here that you can use. For example, you're playing that Resident Evil light gun game for the PS2, which you need the directional controls to move the character. And what's good with this thing is that you can use it on different configurations. You can use it as a GunCon, you can use it as a GunCon 2, and the Norcon. Not sure what a Norcon is, but you can have at least three configurations that you can use. The buttons here, the A button, that's what you use when you try to reload or hide in cover. And this one is a feature, like a feature of this light gun controller is you can actually use a laser. You just toggle this switch and you can use a laser to aid you with aiming, and you can adjust the laser. It's in here, this one. You need to adjust it so it aligns perfectly, but the drawback is the laser reflects on the CRT screen. So whenever you aim it, the LED is returning back to you. So it's a ricocheting. So it's kinda annoying because it hits your eye and it makes you miss instead of be able to shoot properly. So that's it. So these are all the controllers that I have right now. So looking forward to get some other controllers. So now I'm going to talk about my wish list for game controllers. First one is the glove controller for the PS1, which I saw from a magazine back in the 90s. I opened up this magazine called EGM2, which is the offshoot version of the Electronic Gaming Monthly, or EGM. I saw this glove controls that fits in your hand, and you can actually use your hands. It's like a power glove actually. I've seen some demo videos and I really want to try that as a kid, so that's number one of my wish list. And the other one is that Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller that you can use to play Resident Evil 4 for the PS2. But I think you can also use it in other PS2 games as long as you have configured it properly. But I don't think people are selling that. I think it's a very rare controller to have, so it's one of my holy grail for gaming related items. So that's it for me, guys. Juan De Marcos here from 123Go, and I'll see you back in the next episode. Cheers!